boys and girls? We are back with a brand new episode of the official FBOY Island podcast. I'm your host, Danielle Perez.
No, I'm your host, Jared Goldstein.
Ooh, and this episode, we are getting into it. Okay, just as the ladies are starting getting comfortable with all the men, 3 brand new men have been dropped off on the island. Yes. Okay, it is drama, jealousy, catfights, and a very dramatic elimination round.
So we meet 3 new men. We meet Jomar. Welcome. We welcome.
We welcome.
And we get another Jared.
I mean, I'm already sitting next to one, so I can't imagine what that island felt like with 2.
There are just too many of us. So we meet new Jared, who is allegedly an international football player.
What does that mean?
I think that means he plays football in America and soccer in England.
Wow.
Yeah.
Worldly.
Traveled even.
I love that, like, he's also like an international businessman. He
does it
to
all
himself as a CEO. I love when a man
I wonder what CEO stands for. I don't think it's Chief Executive Officer.
That's what I want to know. Is like, what do they think CEO stands for?
I think they think it means champion, energetic. Oh. Do you like
They're like,
that?
I'm CEO of the bedroom.
Well, okay, now what do you think it means?
Oh, God, what do I think they think it means? I think they think it means chief ejaculating officer.
Okay. And we got there.
We did.
We got there. You know what we learned in this episode is that the guys say less a lot.
Which is so interesting because that feels like something a woman would say to them.
Like they should take that advice.
They should all do that. Just say, do less.
Do less, say less.
It's interesting that they need to be told to say less by each other.
Hey, Danielle.
Hey.
Say less.
Jared.
What?
Say less.
Ah! Rude.
We won't, though. We're on a podcast. Literally, our job is to say more. To say more than is actually necessary, truly.
Exactly. We will not be saying less. Don't worry. No. We watched Sarah and Garrett share a lip lock.
Yeah, steamy.
And my favorite part of that was afterwards, Sarah goes, "I'm glad we waited." And my question for you, Danielle, is how many episodes do you wait before your first kiss?
Oh, honey, I kiss on the first episode.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm an F girl. Jared, how many episodes do you wait?
I will wait generally 2 seasons.
2 seasons?
Oh, yes.
Oh, he is Chase. He is
You've
hard
got to earn it.
Get.
I need 2 seasons finales out of you.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part about the selfie challenge was when I think it was like Colin tried to get a little physical with Nakia, and she was like,
"Oh,
actually,
yes."
don't." She's like, please refrain.
Yes.
She's like, it's a look, but don't touch situation.
Entirely.
And I appreciated it. I was like, oh, girl, you a top.
Well, and Nakia really shows us just how much of a top she is later in the episode when the 2 Jareds are at each other's damn throats.
Yes.
And Nakia shuts it down.
She's like, not in my house. Not in my house.
She separates the 2. She talks to new Jared. Or no, she separates the 2. She talks to OG Jared. He wants to drop it. And she goes, no. We're going to talk about it now because I'm still talking about it. And I was like, yes, Nakia.
You tell him what having a relationship is. We are talking. Okay.
Yes.
Communication key.
Yes. So the Jareds are at each other's throats. And look, it's hard. It's hard. As a Jared myself.
Jared, who would you pick? If you had new Jared, OG Jared, which Jared are you vibing with? Which one's getting eliminated?
Look, it's a lesser of 2 evils. So I'm going to have to pick famously when that is your situation. Yes. You must pick the hotter evil. And for me, that is OG Jared.
OG Jared. I love OG Jared.
His body is very, very nice.
His body is banging, and OG Jared's really out here serving looks.
He is.
OG Jared was like, fashion is also a passion.
Oh, yes. He is packing a scarf to the Cayman Islands.
It's like coordinated with his swim trunks. He's like, I'm here.
Good. Yeah, he is expressing himself.
I love it.
And as Nakia mentioned to us on our previous episode, fashion is a way to express yourself.
Something I did not know before speaking with Nakia.
Well, this episode, we've got some great guests for everybody.
We are so excited to have in studio an executive producer of FBOY Island. Please welcome Ben Bitonti.
Woo! Hi, Ben.
Hi, guys.
You were literally on FBOY Island.
I survived.
You survived, barely?
Yep. I got tested before and after. And
For
an STD panel?
all of it.
Good.
All of it. We can't, you can't take too many precautions when you're dealing with FBOYs of that level. So
Mhm.
I mean, we've gotten to meet some of them in the past couple of days, and wow.
It's been overwhelming. I mean, I feel like I've caught something just
yeah,
sitting
we're going to
by
have to
them.
test you both too. Actually.
Yeah.
So what was like the conception process like of this show? Like when were you like brought on and
Mhm.
how did development work for it?
Whose fault is it?
Oh, that's the question. It's a collective of people you can blame.
Okay.
No, all right. So I'll tell you this story. So, honestly, it was a long development process. So
Really?
like we started almost 3 years ago, and I got a phone call from an agency, and an agent was like, "You got to meet this guy named Alon Gale. He's just coming off The Bachelor. He's a genius. He's got wonderful hair and a big beard, and you'll love him." So Alon came in, and he is very, very good at what he does. And he's been doing, he did like 30 something seasons of The Bachelor, and he was Bachelor in Paradise, and just a really, really smart dude. And we talked about what he wanted to do next. And he did not want to do a relationship show. And I kept trying to make him figure out how to do a relationship show. And he was pitching me a lot of shows about different things, and they were cool, but I just was trying to figure out in my head, like, is there a show in the relationship space? Because I just know he's so well respected in that space.
Mhm.
So I said to him, if you were going to do a show in the relationship space, what would it be? And he's like, honestly, I'm sick of those shows. They're so fake. We take, in all these shows, we take a bunch of really shitty guys
Mm.
and we wash them up and we pretend that they're good guys. And then we parade them on television, and people get to choose from them. He's like, if I'm going to do a new show, it's got to be something truthfully honest. It's got to be something that's different than everything else. It's got to be comedically driven, and it have to be something wacky, like Fuckboy Island. And I was like, that's it. We're doing that.
You said cha-ching.
There was no show. There was no development. There was nothing. There was just a title. It was Fuckboy Island. And so we did a deal, and then him and I and our team at STX worked on it for like 6 months, and we came up with a format. We came up with a concept, and then we ended up pitching it around town. And the folks at HBO Max were crazy enough to let us
Or
let us
genius
do it.
enough.
Yeah, it was crazy. But they came in and really they helped us really develop it out and really, really get into the nuts and bolts of what the format is and what the world would look like. I guess the last thing I'll tell you, I remember the day they gave us the green light. It was the largest Zoom call I'd ever been on in my life.
Chic.
It was
Hollywood, baby.
It was like
power position.
yeah, it was the pandemic version of like the never-ending conference room where there's people on all the sides. There was legit 40, 50 people on the Zoom.
Whoa.
And I get up and I do my little tap dance about what the show is and whatever it is, and I throw it to Alon, and he starts pitching, and it's good, and he's pitching and he's pitching, and then not even halfway, we're about halfway through the pitch. The woman who's the head of everything at HBO, she HBO Max, she stopped us and she said, "Okay, I've heard enough. Go get an island and make this show."
Hell yeah. Get an island.
It was great.
That is
Every
a
show
dream.
I've ever done, any pitch I've ever done, I've never seen that happen.
Damn.
It's the sort of stuff you write in a screenplay, but you kind of never see it happen. And that was it. We started casting and we got right into it, and we ended up, making the show.
That's incredible. Hollywood, baby. Hollywood dreams. So, okay, the casting process, because these F-boys are bananas.
A mess.
They're mess. They're gorgeous messes.
Yeah. They're a Jason Mraz song.
Are you going to sing it for us?
Yeah, I could for you.
He did musical theater as a child.
Yeah. Look at me now. Okay, so what was the casting process like meeting all these men?
Believe it or not, I hate to ruin it for you all out there, but the world is full of F-boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
You know what's so fun?
Interesting shocker. As a woman who
Spoiler
dates
alert.
men, I can't believe my ears and what you're saying.
Yes, it was quite eye-opening. You know, so like with
Also,
the
but
How did you land on that
3?
number?
Like,
Yeah.
what
Alright,
is
so-
that?
How did you kind of say only 3?
we were very, very across the board. The network and the producers were very sure that we didn't want a single led show, like one single lead.
Yeah.
We've seen so many of those,
Yeah.
and then the group ones, Love Island or Are You the One, or where it's like groups and you're trying to match. We've seen that too, and it's a different kind of show because it becomes about different dynamics.
Yeah.
We liked the idea of showing of 3 because it was an added layer where we could see different personalities and different types of human
I
beings.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
But it also allowed us to follow different storylines.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, you know, without giving any spoilers, I think we were able to our hypothesis proved true because we were able to track different stories along the series because our women gave us different perspectives.
Yeah, different ladies looking for different things. That's what I kind of liked about it, was that like not everyone was like there looking for like true love. You know what I mean? Like CJ was a little like, I don't really know. Like I want something. I want a mature relationship, but Nakia seemed really focused on like finding a more like real love.
We tried to be very conscious of like, this is not a judgment show.
Yeah.
All the way around. Like, you know, we had a long conversation on nice guys as a way of versus like, cause
What did in the conception of it, what is a nice guy?
So
Because that's
yeah.
something like for me as a woman, I was like, any man who says they're a nice guy, that's a red flag that they are quite the opposite.
Well-
Self-identified nice guys are.
right. That's the
Not
first thing
it.
the F-boy says to you is like,
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
We wanted to have a world. We wanted to create the show free of judgment.
Mhm.
There's plenty. We're going to judge
Mhm.
when we watch. There's judgment everywhere. That'll be put on the show.
Yeah.
But the show itself, from a production standpoint, we didn't want to pass a judgment because it's not our place to do so. So we had a long conversation about a lot of those things. Like we refer to the nice guys as nice guys. It was originally good guys,
No.
but good guys has a connotation with it.
Yeah.
You know,
So a heavy one.
it's a heavy one, and it's also it puts a negative connotation on the F-boys.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not here to say that if you're a self-proclaimed F-boy, you're a bad person. You can be a great person and be an F-boy. It depends on how you're living your life and how you're making your choices and how you're going about your life. Just like you could be a nice guy and not be a great person. Like I know some people.
Just an angry, nice guy.
I know some people who are pretty nice, but they're also, you know, douchebags.
Yeah.
So we tried to make it a place that was free of those judgments and let our contestants make those decisions.
So you just fully let them decide.
yeah,
Like whatever
yeah.
you say you are, that's
Well,
how you'll be entered.
I think to that point from the casting place, there were certain we had certain parameters that we said differentiate you from somebody for the purposes of our game.
What are the parameters?
Well, if you are
Inches.
to me is
Levels. There's levels to the F-boy and levels to the nice guy.
could be
Nice guy, F-boy.
It could-
Parameters.
centimeters.
It's a ruler.
It's a very the other side of the ruler. It's a protractor. Yeah. I think one of the things we were key to again is that what is your motivation for coming into this?
Mhm.
So are you motivated by finding somebody to be with in a committed relationship? Then you're in the nice guy camp immediately. If you're
Mhm.
motivated by having a great time, meeting a bunch of different ladies and, you know, getting your screw on the beach, you're an F-boy. If you're motivated by money, coming through using your masculine wiles to win money,
You're a nice guy.
That's what Jared. That's what Jared thinks.
Yeah. So now, like, what was like some of the harder days on set
Yeah.
on the island? Stand out. There was a storm.
Mhm.
There was a person who was a storm.
Okay. All right.
A person who is a star.
All right. One night so our eliminations are always tough, right? Because like
Eliminations.
elimination day is always tough.
Okay.
So you have tension from everywhere. From it starts the night before.
That like last little party.
That last little party.
Hanging at.
Because you get like
Throwing their Hail Marys.
Yeah, exactly. You get some cast members that are like, oh shit, tomorrow's elimination, and I haven't spoken to Nakia yet, or something like, or I haven't, or the last impression I had was really bad. Like I need to make amends or something. So you have that, and then you have our women. It gets to the point where they're like, oh shit, tomorrow morning I'm going to have to send somebody away, and so that starts right then. And when you wake up, you can kind of feel it. Like there is a palpable tension from everybody. You know, from a cast standpoint. We're sort of like, okay, we want to be prepared to make sure we can document what's going to happen because we don't really know what's going to happen. We have an idea, we can guess, and that's part of the production process is to be prepared for everything, but you really don't know, you know? And so right when we would get to the villa in the morning, you know, our showrunner and our executive producers, we would be talking to the network about what we think might happen, what we think is going to go on tonight, and trying to kind of wrap our brains around what that would be. And then the rest of the day is like a long march to that. And then, you know, because of a lot of reasons, production reasons, you know, the eliminations happen, you know, not pretty late at night. So you end up, you know, these guys are waiting around all day.
And all they can think about is like, what, like 3 of us are going home.
Yeah. And they're trying to figure out who that is and how it's going to be. And they're talking to each other up like, I'm going to be safe. You're going to be safe. And like, we had all of our guys pack all their things every single time.
Oh, every elimination, they have to pack all their bags. Yes. Pack your bags, babe.
Yeah.
You're going home.
So it's like
ready.
a mental thing. Like they're just like, oh shit, this is the night. I'm like, and so they're in their dress, you know, their best dress.
All their pomades back in the in the roller.
And you know, Josh has got his hat on. Jared Motley's in some sort of amazing coiffed outfit.
An ascot.
Very
An ascot, perhaps.
Not a peacock. A
Not a peacock.
We know, no peacock.
Just painted on his body. And we help them together while we wait for all the things that need to happen before, you know, it's the time to do elimination. So they're just sitting there for a couple hours, just like thinking about like what's the inevitable stuff. So you guys have talked to a bunch of the guys from the show?
We have.
Yeah, we have.
And Ben, we actually on the line right now, we have the latest eliminated nice guy. Give it up for Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Oh,
hey guys, how are you?
Wow. Surprise.
Are you in a hotel room?
I am in a hotel room.
What is going on?
Looks like your outfit looks like you're on the Cape or something.
You know, I am on the Cape. I'm unfortunately here for a funeral tomorrow, but you know, when you're on the Cape, you got to dress the part, right?
That's what F and FBOY stands for.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing us down, Mark. We were having a good time before.
You know what? I got to tell
Both
you the truth.
shoes
I'm a
at
good
the-
guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. So
Yeah, because you're a nice guy and we appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
exactly, someone has to be, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So, what have you been up to?
You know, so I got back from my lovely experience on FBOY Island, and you know, I felt like I really grew as a person, and so I came back, decided to really continue to work on myself and grow as I did on the island. So went back to work for a little bit, doing the normal daily ins and outs of living in New York, and overall have just been trying to apply what I learned on the island from my fellow islanders, both good and F-boys, you know, to my daily life. So
What is an F-boy quality or tactic or skill that you learned that you carried on with you?
That's a really good question. F-boy skill that I learned, I think it's I need to incorporate more protein in my diet. So
Okay.
I've been working out more and eating a lot more protein, which is why I had 6 eggs for lunch today. But yeah, no, you know, so I've you know, I've been focusing on fitness. Fergie is my witness up in the gym, but you know, I've really just been focusing on self-development and growth, and just kind of reliving each day my phenomenal experience there. So
Nice.
Yeah. You were so funny on your date with CJ. I was wondering if you had some more jokes for us.
Yeah. Give us a little stand-up comedy.
some more jokes. I mean, I do feel like the erectile dysfunction joke that I told is probably the best joke ever.
That's your closer.
I think
That's what you're known for.
Yeah, hey, if not me, then who? I think probably my second best one would be, what is a good reason to go to Switzerland?
What?
Well, the flag is a big plus.
Wait, okay, so are you writing these jokes or are you sort of gathering these jokes?
Yeah, it's kind of, over the course of my life, I've selectively cultivated the best jokes that my father has told me.
That's why, hence the dad joke of it all, the dad joke vibes. You look like a third, Looks like you got them from a junior. Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah, exactly. They're just passed down from generation to generation.
Are you a third, Mark? Are you?
No, he just looks like one. Yeah.
Do you mean in a relationship?
It's a compliment.
In bed?
He could be. I don't know. He may have learned that on FBOY Island.
It's true. We did have them in very close quarters.
Yeah, I was just the investment banker of it all, the Nantucket vibes, know.
I'm hoping that there was, for everyone's sake, that there was some queer love happening at night or in the morning on that island.
Well, given the confines of the twin bunk beds that we had, there wouldn't be room for that. So.
Damn.
I was very happy. The one positive of being eliminated was having been on the top bunk, I felt like it was about to break. So, I felt safer when I was living in the castle afterwards.
Oh, so you're a top.
Okay.
Yeah. I set myself up for that one.
We got news.
That was good.
Breaking news.
Breaking news? Who was your roommate? Who was the bottom in your bunk?
Let's see. So on my side, Colin was right below me, so he was the bottom, and then we had Anthony as the other bottom on the other side. So it was a great. We honestly by far had the best room. It kind of became the social hub of the whole place.
Okay, cruise director over here.
Yeah.
Orchestrating the social scene on the island.
So someone has to, it was FBOY Island's hottest club was our room. So
wow.
Nice. Did you and Garrett kind of just talk peer to peer as he's invested heavily in Bitcoin and is an accredited investor?
Accredited, which is funny because accredited investor is really like a term designated by the SEC that you either make over X amount of money a year or you have X amount of net worth. So it's not really a career per se, but I love that that's his career on that's listed on the island. So that cracks me up. But so Garrett was someone, he was next to me in quarantine, and he was actually the first person who I met when I arrived on the flight here. And so, I think he comes across, definitely as an FBOY, but in getting to know him over 14 days where we were next to each other on the balconies and, the only person that I'd really have communication with, was able to really see, a good heart under all that exterior. And so I would always say in my interviews, I think Garrett's someone who his potential to be a good guy could come out if he's with the right woman. So, hopefully that happens at some point in the future. But he's definitely someone who I consider a friend, and definitely I think there's a lot of good things that are lumped in with everything else that makes Garrett Garrett.
He's an F buddy, if you will, of yours.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're an F family. So
that's good.
Yeah. I want to ask about your skincare because you were out there just like a porcelain doll in the sun. Oh my gosh, just like a Civil War ghost.
So much sun exposure.
What SPF are you using? What are you rocking with as a person of Caucasian?
So yes, as a very Caucasian person. So I normally do 65, but I knew I really wanted to be tan for the show. So I dropped it down to 55. Wow. And it was funny because, I know, it was a little risky, move. Yeah, I get a little crazy when you go on reality TV. Took a gamble. It paid off. But it was funny, though, because the suntan lotion that we're using, it was a spray thing. And so it wasn't like the best quality. So you spray your face, and one time it got in my eyes. And so it was actually way more than one time, but one time on camera. And Nikia walks up to me and she's like, are you having an allergic reaction? I'm like, no, I have suntan lotion in my eye.
FBOY Island's got you misty, got you in your feels.
Exactly. I was just feeling CJ so much that I was just overwhelmed with emotion and just, I couldn't hold it back anymore.
Yeah. How were you feeling going into elimination? Because you had that date with CJ. How did you feel the date with CJ went?
So, I got kissed on the cheek. And then she asked me to kiss her. And for me personally, as the show's
that was third base.
I mean, it's kind of like we're rounding third base, basically. Okay. So,
wait, was this a butt cheek?
Yeah. So it goes very well, and then she loses her voice, but I could kind of tell when she was talking to me, and she asked me to give a speech on kind of what we had talked about on our date of male-female norms in relationships, because we had a good talk on feminism and especially the princess complex that she enjoyed. She asked me to give that to the group, and so I did. And I'm like, all right, I'm doing great. Everything's fine. So she loses her voice. I brought her tea after that.
Wait, I can't help but notice you keep putting losing her voice in air quotes. Is there some story behind it?
I thought I did that. Well, losing her voice, because from when she would talk to me, I felt that the voice was still there. But, I'm not someone who I'm not going to, steamroll someone.
Interesting.
And,
okay. So you have alternative facts is what you're saying.
So, we have these elimination speeches. And so going into the third episode elimination, I'm not worried at all. And there was something in one of my interviews, like it was probably 3:00 in the afternoon. And one of the producers says, how good are you at public speaking? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty good. And she's like, well, out of everyone here, I'm like, well, I'm the best at public speaking here. And then at that point in my head, I'm like, I'm getting called up to give a speech. So I knew I had a little bit of time to think. So I'm like, I'm going to give the best damn speech there's ever been on this.
Yes.
And I think when you think about the history of public speaking, you have Winston Churchill.
Which I do all the time.
We were just talking about it, actually.
A conversation that comes up all the time.
Emancipation Proclamation, Kanye's speech on Taylor Swift, and then, you have my speech. And so, honestly, I went out there.
That's so humble. Number 3 out of all of those?
Well, I think humility is my greatest strength there. So,
well, how can all the F boys and girls keep up with you, Mark?
What do you mean by that?
What's your social media?
Where can they slide into those DMs? Get you fed, get you some more eggs. Get you a new pair of boat shoes,
My social media on all fronts is it's Mark Moran. And so prior to going on the show, I had about 700 Instagram followers. Right now, I broke 1,000. I'm not trying to brag.
Wow, big deal. Did you post a shirtless selfie to thank the fans, thank the followers?
I think I should. I think that I'm going to put that on my to-do list. And, I think this weekend I might be doing that.
Mark, can you say fiduciary duty one more time for us?
Fiduciary duty.
Oh, no.
Mark, it's been so much fun having you.
You guys have been
FBOY,
Bye.
And that's our episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We want to thank our esteemed guests today.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and listen wherever you get your podcasts. I've been Danielle Perez.
And I've been Jared Goldstein.
FBOY, FBOY.